Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I want to come on here and talk with you very quickly. We're going to talk about um, something that I think it's really important. On my channel, you're going to get a variety of different things. You're going to get spiritual content as well as practical. All right. And we're going to talk about dodging that bullet. Sometimes men, young men, you need to dodge that bullet. And what does that mean? There's a woman that you may be attracted to, you may like, but you know what? She's very deceiving. She's very deceptive. And the reason why it's really hard for men, because a conniving woman, a woman who is manipulating, she's very hard to figure out. And it's going to take a man who is discerning, truly discerning, led by God to be able to see through her. Because if not, a lot of times because of her feminine wiles, her beauty, especially if you are having sex with this woman, if you're being intimate with her, it's going to mess you all up. The way you're going to know a certain type of woman is by her character. You have to be able to look beyond how great she smells, how beautiful she looks, how she makes you feel emotionally and physically, and look at her fruit, her character. What is she like consistently? A specific fruit is never going to change. An orange is not going to suddenly change into an apple, okay? So when the Lord speaks about the fruit, by their fruit you shall know them, it's what are they consistently like? A person who is consistently inconsistent. That means there's always something that's going on with them. There's always these gray areas with them. I said this before. There's people who you may meet them and they do these things. They have moments where they're unavailable. They just disappear off the face of the planet, and then they pop up and there's something going on. There was something going on with another man, a female, and then there's always these stories and someone comes around but you never really can get down to find out exactly what they're doing. What I say in these situations, and I do have a video about this, consistently inconsistent, you don't need to know exactly what a person is doing when these individuals that tend to they love to say, well, prove that I'm doing this. Do you have proof that I'm doing this? You don't need proof with a person that's consistently inconsistent, because a person who is inconsistently inconsistent, a person that's consistently found to be caught in lies, a person that consistently does not answer their cell phone at a certain time, no matter how much you talk to them, a person who consistently has this other man or woman around and there's this stuff going on with them, a person who consistently is nasty to others and then they say they're not. Whatever they do, you don't always need to see a text message and have proof of them sleeping with a person. When they're consistently inconsistent in their character, whatever you're imagining, it could be worse. So rather than that, you look at their character and you can make your decisions. So what am I talking about? Men, dodge that bullet. Because what does a bullet do? A bullet brings destruction. It can bring fatality. It can kill you. It can incapacitate you. It can change your life forever and take your life. And so when you are with a certain type of woman, some of you are holding on to a person that is showing you in character that they are not a good person. This is not a caring woman. She hates your family. She hates your friends. She talks down to you. Could be verbally abusive. She could even be a woman that hits you. Okay? She's hitting you and you're not hitting her back because you're a gentleman. Or a woman that likes to fight you. She could be very jealous. She could be a woman that's very selfish financially. She has the expectation that you're supposed to give her all your money and she keeps all her money. She's manipulating. You catch her in lies. She uses tears to manipulate you. She may use sex to manipulate you. She plays between you and the next person. All right? That means she likes to, this type of woman likes to spark your jealousy. So if you guys go out, she likes to do things, whether it's talking to other guys, it could be the server at a restaurant, it could be anyone. She likes to make you feel angry and insecure. She loves to see you jealous, or she likes to spark your jealousy and act as if she doesn't know what you're upset about. She withholds sex to get what she wants from you, or she uses sex to get what she wants from you. She is a woman that has a bunch of different men in her life and make you feel as if you're the one that's insecure. So men are calling her at different hours. She's taking people's calls. She takes men's calls. She stays on the phone with them. And you're just sitting there waiting for her to get off the phone. She's disrespectful to you. Sometimes she is making you feel like if you want to marry me, then you have to give me this, you have to do that, you have to do this. There's like a list of things she wants you to check off on before marriage. And now there's a difference. Understand there's a difference between a woman who wants to be sure and wants to be certain, because that is wisdom. That a woman, if a man wants to marry her, there are many things that she has to look at. You know, if he's responsible, there are just lots of different things to consider. But it's not that. It's like she knows you're a good person, but she is a greedy woman. She's selfish. She's emotionally unavailable. She's emotionally abusive. She plays mind games. She plays the cat and mouse games with you. She wants to be your mother. You have to be careful with these types of women. And women, I would just want to interject and say that here. There's something where, and it can happen, you're dating a man, and when you're getting to know him, you're your best self. And then once you get to know him, you're trying to be his mother. Tell him he can't go here, he can't do this, he can't do that. I understand that you can say something to him on, maybe there's a way you feel about a matter. You can voice your concern, but I find it will be like women will start to tell that man, oh, well, you can't go be with your friends, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. The character or the personality, the disposition of that woman will change once she's with that man. And you don't want to turn that man into a boy. And so, no, don't eat that. No, don't get that. No, don't do this. No, don't do that. No guy wants that. And I'm telling you, I have 2 sons, and I talk to them about all of this, even now. And I can tell you for sure, especially my older son, you're not going to manipulate him as a woman. That is not going to happen. Okay? He does not fall for the okie doke. I'm not saying that he's perfect, because he's not a perfect person, but he's definitely not a person, those feminine wiles, his mother has taught him well. So that is not going to work on him. If anything, it irritates him. And my son that's at home right now, oh yes, he's being schooled not to be disrespectful to women, not to care about women. That's not how I teach them. All right? He has a sister and he loves her dearly. But I teach him all the stuff, spiritual things as well as this. Okay? So women that wants to play games, they use their tears to manipulate you. They will use their tears to, if a situation's come up and she's been caught, she's going to cry to change the narrative. And what the tears are supposed to do is to disarm you and to make you forget about what's going on. But when she has done something wrong, Do not allow those tears, she can cry, but still expect her to answer the question, why did you do that? She may need a moment, okay? And a lot of times these type of women, they need a moment to think and to lie. But you have to understand the difference between tears of someone who's truly feels bad about a matter and tears of someone that's using it as a way to distract you while they are trying to manipulate the narrative, change everything around. Okay? Then there are women that just turn everything around. They yell and they scream and they talk down to you. They play mind games. They come up with these, just pull anything out the air to deflect from the situation. Talk about, well, what about when you did that? That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what you did right now. And so you have to dodge that bullet, because you walk that woman down the aisle, despite everything that she's shown you, she is going to become a destructive force in your life. She is not going to change. A lot of the things that you're seeing in your relationship right now is your warning, okay? Sometimes it could be your friends that's telling you, nah. It could be your family, it could be your loved ones. God can be speaking to you. He's showing you everything. When you're catching that woman in lies and seeing all these things that she's doing, her nasty behaviors, the Lord is showing you. And there's some women, they cannot be peaceable. They don't want peace. They have to be fighting. There have to be something going on. There has to be an argument. There has to be some sort of confrontation. They live for that because a lot of times they come from that. They come from households where they were abused, they were mistreated. So you're a nice guy. She can't handle that. She wants conflict. It has to go on forever. It has to be, she's hanging up. She's not taking your calls. You have to come over. She comes to your house. She pulls up in your driveway. This type of woman, don't date them. Don't marry them. Just leave her alone. Let her grow. Sometimes, every woman has done something or said something or acted out of character like she shouldn't. And sometimes a woman, when she truly loves you, she's young and she doesn't know any better. Sometimes she can say and do things that's out of character. But the difference is it's out of character for them to behave this way. Okay? Every woman has probably said or done something that she's embarrassed about. She behaved a certain way. She said something, her heart was hurting and she reacted in a way, but that's out of character for that woman. Okay? And sometimes women, they go through things when they're dating a caustic and a toxic man. That man can take her completely out of her element. When she's cast her pearls before swine, that man can bring her to a place of so much pain because he's playing games with her. And the same thing with a man. All of a sudden that man is yelling and screaming and that woman is like, oh, I don't know, what's your problem, what's going on? She has incited that, and she provokes him by doing these subtle things to get him riled up. And then when he's yelling, she goes to being the damsel in distress. Oh, I don't know, why is he yelling? I'm so afraid for my life. And next thing you know, she's just calling the cops on you and changing your life around. Don't ruin your life. Dodge this bullet. There are women that's this way. They must have conflict. They like to make up and break up. They like to, and when you're pulling away and you're trying to go in the right direction, here she comes with the tears and calling you. She'll ignore you, but if you're not calling her now, she's going to start calling you. And, oh, well, what's the matter? What's going on? Acting like she doesn't understand anything. Get you reeled into conversations with her, and then you're back to ground zero. Men, you have to learn to ignore. The greatest weapon you can ever have, and I can definitely tell you, okay, is cut off the communication. Because once that woman gets you to arguing, she'll be sending you barrage and texts and all that. If you engage, that's satisfying to her. And a lot of times they're going to pull you right in. Sometimes you don't need to talk anymore. That one will be keeping all your text messages to use it against you at some point in your life. And that's why those of you that you know the Lord, it's important that you are understanding that you can be led by the Spirit of God in how to make wise decisions. You know, when the two women came before King Solomon, one was deceiving. One was saying, "This is my baby." And the other person was saying, "No, that is my baby. She stole my baby. She rolled over and killed her baby in the night by mistake, and she stole my baby." Solomon was not moved by the tears, and he was not moved by the argument. They were going back and forth telling him different things. Solomon was a wise man. So the tears and the argument and the back and forth did not move him. He was led by the Spirit of God to do the ultimate test. He said, "Bring me a sword. I'll cut this baby in half. Seeing that you're both arguing about it, I'll give you one half of the baby and I'll give you the other half." The lady who was the true mother of the child, of the baby, she begged Solomon and says, "Give her the baby. Let her have the baby. Don't cut my baby in half, or don't hurt the baby." The other mother says, "No, yes, you have half, I'll keep half." And that is how Solomon was able to realize who the mother was, who the real mother was. And he says, "Give the mother her child." Now, was Solomon really going to cut the baby in half? No, but it was a test. He was led by the Spirit of God in realizing who is the one that's being dishonest. And so you have to learn to be led by the Spirit of God and pray for wisdom, because a beguiling and manipulating woman is very, very dangerous. A woman who's deceiving and destructive is extremely dangerous to a man. There are women who can cause you to get your head blown off. A woman that can cause you to lose your job, to lose your everything you've ever worked for. She can cry and say that you did something that you did not do. And so if you're not being led by God, and if you're following after a Delilah, so to speak, being charmed by her beauty and how you guys, quote unquote, vibe together, and how you guys just have so much in common, and how she makes you feel, you are going to be deceived. Dodge that bullet. What you're seeing is for your own good. Her behavior, her fruit, her consistent patterns of behavior, her consistent inconsistencies, selfishness, all those things, manipulation. Another thing, a woman who holds grudges, never, ever, ever take that woman to the altar. A woman who holds grudges, that means this is someone that continues, anytime there's anything, she goes back to the past like it just happened. And not only that, if you do something that upsets her, she can't come back from that. Or if you make an error, even if it's something you didn't mean, no matter how much you apologize to her and you're telling her sincerely, "I'm sorry," she cannot come back from it. She has to put you through this regiment of the silent treatment, stonewalling you. You have to be begging, all of that. Don't be with this type of woman. That is a bitter woman. And you can expect that your life with her will be just like that. Understandable. Let me make it clear. If you are a man, you have done things over and over again to this woman, and you have hurt her, where she has forgiven you willingly right away, gave you chances, and you continue to break her trust. You have to understand that that woman may withdraw from you, and she don't trust you. She's not as quick to reconcile with you because of your patterns of behavior that is different. And personally, if to any woman listening, if that man is consistently breaking his word, you don't want to be with him. You don't want to be with a consistently inconsistent man. Because what's going to happen? You're going to get bitter. You're going to get hardened because you're really trying to protect yourself, but you're hurting yourself at the same time. The best thing to do with this type of man is just not to continue in a relationship with him, so that you don't become bitter and hardened to the point that you're no good for anybody. So, man, I'm not talking in those cases, but in situations where there are women that just, they can shut down. at a moment's notice. And it could be because of her past relationships and things that she has gone through. You are now bearing the cross, or you are now paying for what other men have done to her. If she continues to compare you to someone else, oh, you still like my ex, let her go until she get over her ex. You're not responsible for what other men have done. You're not responsible for a woman that wants to be a victim all the time. Be careful, these women that are telling you about all the stuff that they've been through and all that man did to them. Listen to their verbiage. Watch their fruit. What is she always talking about? Always bringing up the past and what happened, and you're paying for it. Don't be with this type of woman. You'll be miserable. You have one life to live. What you did yesterday is gone forever, and you'll never experience yesterday again. Yesterday was Friday. There'll be other Fridays, but not the Friday that just passed. This snap that I just did, that has happened in time, and it's gone forever. I cannot go back and do that same snap. I can snap my finger again, but it is completely separate and independent from the first snap. It's been done in time. That has happened. It is gone. I can never get that back again. So it's the same thing with your life. Look at who's before you. Don't be moved by her beauty. Don't be moved by her sad stories of her sad beginnings. Use wisdom. Ask God to lead you. Ask God to guide you. You don't want to be with a woman that's leading you to violence and provoking you. Because as a man, the minute you hit her, she's going to go flying across the room, and your life is going to change because of that. And you find these type of women, some of them, when you cut it off with them, they get obsessive and they get crazy. And sometimes you need to get out of that relationship before she becomes that. Some women, you got to put in a restraining order because you've stayed so long, she's become this monster. Dodge that bullet. Yes, she had a hard upbringing, a hard childhood, but so has other people, and they have fared very well in the world. They're not abusing other people. People that has had abused, they've been abused and had bad beginnings, they have to allow God to heal their heart. They have to go get the help that they need. They have to make a conscious effort to say, I'm not going to do that, and to stop it, and to be considerate of what that person is saying that they're doing. The world is not for them to just do what they want to do, behave however they want to behave, say what they want to say because they were abused when they were young and they were homeless. That is not for you to pay for. They need to grow up. They need to get through that. And I'm not saying that in a way that like I don't care. But that sob story about their beginnings, we have sob stories. I can tell you some sob stories, maybe not anything from my beginnings, but there's a few things I can talk about that I've experienced. Everybody has that. Or some people, not all. So that is not an excuse. And that should not become your burden. Do not allow that behavior. Don't allow it. Don't allow her to be telling you, oh, what happened when she was young and all of that. Okay, that is sad. But that is not for her to bring to the relationship. And then that is what she is using to behave the way that she is. And you need to understand, no. She needs to go heal, get herself together. She is an adult. And you need to dodge that bullet, because if you may listen to this message and you may be right at this message, for some of you is right on time, but whether or not you're going to take heed is something different. And that's up to you. You may be getting ready to marry this person. Oh, well, all the wedding plans are already in place. Don't waste everybody's money. You don't have to marry her. I was about to get married, and the red flags were all in my face. And you know what? As a bride, already getting my dress fitted and already having the venues booked and already have our rooms booked. We're going to have this nice room. We're going to have a private pool. We just step out from our room right down into the pool overlooking the ocean, and family members coming. Thank God no one had put down their deposit yet. We were planning our menu, all of that. No. I broke off that engagement because I had to think. I had to look beyond that beautiful diamond on my finger. I had to look beyond, oh, I'm about to go try my bridal dresses and the excitement around it. I could have kept all that going, but God was showing me, you need to dodge this bullet. And I did that. So imagine that phone call, calling the wedding coordinator saying it's off, taking down the website, because we had a website with all our pictures and how we met and all this stuff, taking all that down, calling David's bridal saying I'm not coming in for the fitting anymore, canceling my registry, my bridal registry, still getting something in the mail, tell us about your big day, all that stuff. I actually had something that came in after I had long broken up, and the following year when the wedding was supposed to be, something came through to me saying, hey, tell us how your wedding was and all of that. Okay? And I kept that because that, to me, that was a testimony. It reminded me of how I was strong. So what am I saying? No, I did not get married. And I had some individuals that was like, girl, you should have just married him and worked it out. No, I'm not going to work anything out. I'm not going to work certain things you cannot work out. Integrity and trust, you can't work that out. That should be a given. And so respect, guys, integrity and trust. It may seem terrible, but you will have peace once it's done. Sometimes it's tough to make those decisions, but the minute you make the decision, you will have your peace. Dodge that bullet. Whether you're a teenage boy, whether you are a middle age, whatever it may be strong. Pray and ask the Lord to lead you and to guide you, and avoid it, because this type of woman will destroy your entire life. And you're seeing a preview of what's to come later on down the line. So when you see those signs, let it go. Let her go. It doesn't matter how beautiful she is. It doesn't matter how accomplished she is. It doesn't matter how close your families are. Leave it alone. And trust God that whoever he has for you, if there's someone for you, she is waiting for you. But you will totally cancel her out by marrying the counterfeit. Okay? And not only that, guys, there's probably a woman who can love you and really she is a perfect fit for you. But you know what? You keep messing with these type of women, they will get you so hardened and bitter that by the time you meet someone that's nice, you're so full of mistrust and anger, you cannot and you will not be able to be a good husband, a good match for anybody, because now you're damaged goods. You have PTSD from this last relationship, so you can't receive love. You're not able to give it. You can't give trust, and you end up hurting other people. So just consider what I'm saying, and I hope this helps someone. Dodge that bullet while you have a chance. God bless.